Hey there, it's John Bice with eXp Real Estate and the Florida for Boomers Network in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. I'm getting so many comments on my videos that I had to come back and post some things that I want you to consider before you think about moving here to Florida. I mean, these 9 things I want you to really think about because I'm getting all of the comments, but what about? Well, I get that. But if you don't want to live in paradise, I get it. I get it. People love living in the north where it's freezing cold 6 months a year. I get that. I can put up with 3 months of really hot weather to live in paradise the rest of the time. So here's my 9 top things that I hear the most that I want you to think about. Can I handle this before I actually consider moving to the Sarasota, Florida area? We call it the Sun Coast. We cover Lakewood Ranch, Parish, Venice, all the way down to Welland Park, which is in Northport. And hey, if you're finding this here on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I put out videos 2 to 3 times a week about living here on the Sun Coast, what it's like, what the neighborhoods are like, what homes are like, 55 plus communities, active adult communities, condos on the beach, whatever it is you're looking for, we can help you with that. So number 9 on our list, heat. Yes, Florida is hot, but guess what? So is Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, New York, Massachusetts, blah, blah, blah. It's hot. I lived in Las Vegas for 6 years. You want to talk about hot? 122 to 25 degrees during the summertime. And don't give me that stuff about no humidity. When it's 125 degrees, who cares? It's 125. It's like you just put the oven on 4,000 degrees and you just open the door. It's crazy. So yes, we absolutely have June, July, and August. And this past year, I don't know if it had anything to do with this El Nino thing, but it was hot. As opposed to being like 92, we were hitting 95, 96. I think I saw some 97s. It was hot. So if you can't handle 3 months of really hot weather, it's probably not the place for you. But guess what? It's January and it was 76 degrees today. We're going to have about 58 degrees tonight. So overall, pretty beautiful. That starts in November and runs through April, sometimes into May. We want it to end in April because we want all the slow birds, also known as snowbirds, to go home so we can actually drive around. So yes, we have summertime. So if you can't handle those 3 months, yeah, living on the Sun Coast might not be for you. Number 8, bugs. We have bugs. Yes, we do. We have mosquitoes. We have no-see-ums. We have cockroaches. We have spiders. We have it. This used to be a swamp until we came in and took it over. But guess what? We have this thing called pest control guys. My guys are amazing. They don't even have to come in the house. They spray around the exterior of the house. They walk around in the pool area, all the way around my house, knock down any kind of spider webs or anything. I hate bugs, and I'm a Floridian. I grew up here. I hate bugs, and I never see a bug. And this house that we have was built in 1983. It's not like the new homes that are built like fortresses. Yes, it's concrete block, but 1983 is a lot different from 2023, 24 construction. So yes, if you can't handle some mosquitoes, an occasional bug, yeah, Florida might not be for you. And while we're on bugs, we might as well cross over into alligators. Because every time I have somebody in my car and we drive past a lake, is there an alligator in that lake? The answer is yes. At some point, there's an alligator in that lake. May not be all the time because they travel, they migrate, but they kind of hone in on a lake that I don't know if they were born there or they like that lake or what it is, but they're going to be in that lake. We don't swim in lakes. We don't boat in these lakes, swim in these lakes. We fish in some of the lakes, but it's for bass and you just throw them back in. But yeah, if you're worried about an alligator chasing you down the street, which I've never seen that happen ever, ever, ever. But if you're worried about that, yeah, the Suncoast might not be for you. So bugs, and yes, we have alligators for real. Weather, other than summertime, we have these things called hurricanes. And so does Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Texas is going crazy right now with insurance prices. I just had some buyers in town. The HOA fees on their condo just went to $3,200 a month because of the insurance that they're having to maintain on their building. And they're in Galveston, Texas. Okay. So anywhere where you have coastline, I don't care where you are, like I said, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up to New Jersey, you have a chance of it. So yes, we do have hurricanes, but they don't come over the entire state of Florida and devastate the whole state. Yeah, they hit areas. And 2 years ago, we had one that hit down in the south area near Venice, Fort Myers, and it was a doozy. It was a big time storm. But what they don't tell you is the homes that are now built up to these newest, highest hurricane standards, pretty much, maintained all the way through the storm. What they'll show you on the news is the homes that were built in the 60s and the 70s and just got devastated. Yes, absolutely. My home, again, built in 1983. When that storm went through, I was sitting on my lanai doing videos just like this, showing people, okay, this is the storm that's going by. Do we lose power during these storms? Yes, we do. Most of the time. This last one that went by, we lost power for 3 days. That was the longest I've ever been without power. And I grew up in St. Petersburg in a wood frame house. Okay. So most of the time, it's the power company has shut the power off. That's what happened this time. The next day after the storm went by, within a half a mile of my house, everybody had power. But we were waiting for the power company to turn our power back on. And we went for 3 days without power. Now, praise God, it was cool. I don't know what happened. The hurricane brought in cool weather. We had the sliders open. We were chillaxing. It was okay. But you got to be able to handle an occasional hurricane that usually lasts for about 8 hours and then it's gone. And you got to know when to stock up and what to do and have food. And, these new people that are moving to Florida, my goodness, I'll see them walking out of the grocery store with like 72 rolls of toilet paper and 6 cases of water. I've never had the water turned off. Never. In the whole time I've lived in Florida. Yeah, I'm sure there's areas that do, but I've never had that. So you need some water, but really the water that you need is to be able to like flush your toilet. And so many people here have pools. You can go out there and scoop water out to flush your toilet. So you don't need like 16 cases of water. And most of you don't drink 2 bottles of water a day anyway, but all of a sudden during a hurricane, you need 16 bottles for that day and a half that the hurricane's going to be going by. So that's my rant on hurricane and weather. Is it growing here, the population? Absolutely, positively, yes. Baby boomers are retiring. They want to be here. They want to be in paradise. They want to be near the beach. So absolutely, we're growing. But guess what? A lot of people who are retiring and have been here a long time are going the other way. They're going to North Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Yes, they absolutely are. And we have people that have moved here and are moving back to be close to family again. We also have a older population. Like, we used to kid about Venice, Florida is where old people's parents live. So we have people, unfortunately, passing on. So it's a turnover. So you have people moving out, you have people moving in, you have people going back, and you have people passing away. So, yes, it's getting crowded. And it's a lot more crowded than when I first moved to Sarasota in 1992. But it's a controlled kind of chaos, I guess you would call it. The growth is everywhere. Towards the beaches, that was all built out already. So now it's heading east and heading north, and the growth is unbelievable, definitely. So if that's something you're worried about, this area might not be for you. Also, another one, snowbirds and slow birds. Slow birds. They've got nowhere to go and absolutely all day to get there. And for some reason, when they get here, they've lost their mind about how to drive. They'll be in the far left lane and decide they're going to make a right hand turn. And they just think because their blinkers on, they can go. So you've got people from literally around the world coming here and trying to drive. So if that's going to drive you crazy, our population goes up about 20% during slow bird season. This area might not be for you. Going to restaurants, shopping at the grocery store, it's crazy. Because as I said, nothing to do, no rush, nothing. And they're going as slow as they possibly can because it doesn't matter. They don't have anything to do. So that's another thing to consider. I keep hearing about property taxes. Well, only thing I have to say about our property taxes is no state tax, no city tax, no car tax. So let's talk about property taxes. I have people all the time coming from New York and New Jersey telling me they're paying $18,000, $21,000, $24,000 a year in property taxes. And I put a video out that say my property taxes are $4,600, and I'll get 87 comments saying that's crazy from some guy in South Carolina with a mobile home that's paying, $400 a month or a year or whatever it is. I don't know. And I say mobile home. I don't know what they live in, but that's what they always say. Oh, up here in South Carolina, I'm only paying $1,200. Well, great good. But where do you go to the beach? How's paradise? Yeah. How's your state tax, city tax? And I don't even know if they have state tax and city tax up there. And I don't care. But yes, we have property taxes here. And if you live in one of these new communities that used to be farmland and they have to go in and develop it, you're going to have a thing called a CDD fee. That's part of your property taxes. And it's going to range from $1,200 to $1,800 a year as part of your property taxes. Okay. So I have a whole different video out about property taxes. So hopefully you can see that. But yes, my property taxes, and I've already said it, $4,600 a year. When I bought this home, it was $4,400 a year. And in 5 years, it's gone up $200 because we're homesteaded. So it can only go up 3% a year. It can go up 1%. It can go up 2%. It can go down 4%. But it's only going to go up 3% a year. All right. If you're in one of those new developing areas, yes, chances are you're going to have a CDD fee, which will mean that your property taxes on the assessed value of your home should be around about 2.2% of the assessed value. Now, how do they come to that? Every January, the property appraiser does an assessment of homes in an area. Now, Remember, just in Sarasota County alone, there's like 330,000 properties that's commercial properties. That's condos and villas and townhomes and single family homes. So they don't go out and do every single one. It's the area, the size of the home, and what's that home currently worth. Okay. Yes, our values, when the whole COVID thing went through, yes, our property values went crazy, like 28% increase. Okay. So things that were $350,000 in 2019 are probably $650,000 now. And that's just a gross general over categorization here. But yes, our values went up 28%. Why? Because people were running to Florida as fast as they could get here. We didn't have anything to sell. Builders couldn't keep up. So, yes, that's, I believe it's called Economics 101. So, demand is up here, supply is here. So, what happens? You know, the prices go up. So, we're leveling off. Things aren't still going crazy. Our normal appreciation rate in this area is 4.1%. 4.1 normal. Okay. So we're getting back to a normal market. We're settling down. Our inventory level is still very low, but we're getting back to a normal market. All right. So this video is not going to be 4 hours long. Let me hurry up. Our insurance, yes, our insurance has gone up. We've had storm activity, and I've talked about this in past videos. What happened was a governor that we have had in the past who's lost as a Democrat, an independent, and a Republican. So you can figure out who that is. Thought that the large insurance companies had a monopoly in the state. Got all these smaller companies to come in and undercut all the larger companies. And the larger companies finally said, yeah, we can't keep up with that because that's not sustainable. Because if we have a big storm, it's not going to be good. So the large companies started pulling out, and all these smaller companies came in. And guess what? We had some larger storms, and they couldn't keep up because they gave out these lower rates on these homeowner insurance policies. So the Progressives, the State Farms, the All States, they had pulled out. So now when you call one of them, they're like, oh yeah, I was insured with Allstate. And they dropped me at one point way back. This was like 2011 or 12, because they were trying to pull out of the state. They weren't allowed to leave the state, but they said, if you want to stay insured with us, this is going to be your price way up here. So it's all come around. Guess what? Homes are more expensive. Supplies are more expensive. So what makes you think insurance rates are going to stay down here to replace a 1970s home when you got a home that was built in 2023 that had some damage to it? Yeah, it's going to cost a lot more, but that's the price of it. So anyway, that's my rant about insurance. Outdoor life, if you are coming from the north and you're used to sitting inside for 6 months out of the year and doing absolutely nothing but, smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey, and you think you're going to come to Florida and things are going to change, might not. I have a lot of people that come down here and they just think their lifestyle is going to automatically change because they live in paradise now. Well, you have to plan that. You have to plan what you're going to do, the community that you're going to live in, what you're going to do. Are you going to become a pickleball player? Are you going to learn how to paddleboard? Are you going to kayak? Are you going to be fishing? Are you going to buy a boat? What are you going to do? Because we can do that literally 12 months out of the year. So yeah, you got to figure out what kind of lifestyle you're gonna gravitate into. I have people all the time that say, ladies will say, "God, my husband's a couch potato. He's not getting up, but I got him involved in pickleball and now I can't keep him off the pickleball courts. It's crazy. It's great." You can play tennis here year round, pickleball here year round, swim in the pool year round. It's amazing. So if you don't want that kind of lifestyle, that's what we're built around. Our houses have sliding glass doors that lead to the lanais and the pools, and that's where we live this time of year. It's amazing. So if you don't like that kind of lifestyle, again, it might not be for you. I'm not sure, but it might not be. And last but not least, two things. Your family's not going to come here all the time, and you're not going to go to the beach every day. And if you live in Sarasota, Disney World is 90 minutes away, and you're not going to go there all the time, especially the beach. I hear it all the time. I'm going to go to the beach every day. No, you're not, because you go there a few times and it's the beach. We make a day trip of it on a weekend when we can get away, my wife and I, and typically we'll go out there about 4 o'clock in the afternoons. Everybody's leaving the beach and we're going to go out there and plant our chairs and watch a sunset. Still have plenty of time for sunshine and enjoy it. Don't have all the chaos going on around us. Or occasionally we'll get up there to the beach, get up and get out there about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hang out for like 3.5, 4 hours. Then when it's getting really crowded, we're packing up and heading home. It's amazing. So don't think you're going to go to the beach every day. You're not going to live at Disney World. And your family, I promise you, is not going to come that much, because if it's your kids, they're still working. If it's your kids with kids, grandkids, they're still in school and doing all these things. They will come and visit, but it's going to be a week at a time. And by the way, 55 plus communities, your grandkids can come and stay with you for at least 30 days at a time. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not a compound where people can't come and visit. So hopefully this has helped you. I've been a little sarcastic in it, but I get these same questions all the time. It's a beautiful place to live. I absolutely love living here. I'm never moving away. I don't care what people say about insurance, about taxes, about hurricanes, about bugs, heat. I don't care. I'm never moving away from here. I love it. I love the beaches. I love the outdoor activity. I love the people here, and I actually love the growth that we're seeing, because there used to be not a lot here, so now we've got this beautiful mall with all kinds of restaurants around it and everything. Lakewood Ranch is continuing to develop. North River Ranch is really booming right now. We want to help you. We want to help you find the perfect community for you. Whatever it is it an exclusive gated golfing community? Is it a 55 plus community? Is it a active adult community? Do you just want to live in a beautiful community where there's lots of minivan moms that take the kids to the park and hang out? Whatever it is, we can help you. Call me. My cell phone number is 941 962 7443. You can send me a message right here on YouTube. I'll answer it. I promise I will. Unless you're one of the sarcastic people that tell me how bad Florida is, I will not answer you. And we're here to help. That's our job. That's how we make a living. Y'all come down, check it out. I'll tell you the really cool restaurants to go to, the best beaches to go to. We'll find a community that you absolutely love, and we'll help you. We're here for you. Okay. I look forward to hearing from you, to talking to you, and helping you find your home here in paradise. Thanks. Bye-bye.